I see them as a sign we're getting closer.
Perfect. Hold it there for a second,
says Patrick.
Great. All done. Thanks, Penny. You're a legend. Now, let's go and see this bride.
I give a quick thumbs up to the musicians who have launched into Pachelbel's canon as I walk past the early bird guests. I'd even settle for being one of them right now. They're milling about, drinks in hand, sunglasses on, without a care in the world, whereas I've entered what I call the demon hour. The hour before the nuptials start, and the time where things are most likely to go pear-shaped. I've only planned 5 weddings since I accidentally became a wedding planner earlier in the year, and only 3 of those have been since I officially launched Princess on a Shoestring. I found that once the brides are dispatched up the aisle, I tend to collapse in a corner, having a near-nervous breakdown, trying to regain my poise in time for the reception. There's always something that seems to crop up. A bride freaking out that a strand of hair is out of place, a father of the bride who's gone AWOL, a bridesmaid who's got to go to the toilet because she forgot to go before she got to the church. All in all, actually making sure that the bride and groom are at the end of that aisle, almost on time, is the most important, and sometimes the most difficult part of my job. I hadn't intended to change career and become a wedding planner. It all happened after I started a budget wedding blog, when I was trying to fill the void left from planning my own wedding. One of my readers asked me to plan her wedding for her, and then I agreed to plan one for her friend, too, which is when it changed my life. It turned out that her dad was my new boss, and he almost fired me for moonlighting. It was then that I realized that my heart had been captured by wedding planning, and even though it means that Mark and I aren't going to be moving out of our 2-up, 2-down starter home anytime soon, starting my own company is worth the wait. Patrick and I enter the hotel and climb the stairs up to the bridal suite, where I left the bride Olivia in a state of peace and tranquility 30 minutes ago. Her hair was in perfect waves flowing over one shoulder, her makeup flawless, and all she needed to do was slip into her dress. Usually, I'd be worried, as I'm the one that usually gets roped into lacing the brides in if they've got a corset dress. It's a terrifying experience where you think you're going to literally squeeze the life out of the bride in their pursuit of a tiny waist and voluptuous cleavage. Luckily, today, I don't have to worry about that, as Olivia has a figure-hugging mermaid-style dress with a zip. Surely one of her 5 bridesmaids will be able to handle that. "Penny!" Olivia screams as I open the door and make eye contact with her. "Penny, I'm supposed to be a princess! A princess!" Why is she still wearing the hotel-provided fluffy dressing gown? Why isn't she in her expensive bespoke wedding dress? I glance round at Patrick, and he's not doing anything to hide the shock in his eyes, which tells me this is bad. Very bad indeed. "A princess!" "Okay," I say, holding my hands up to try and contain the bridezilla that is threatening to rear its ugly head. I quickly scan the room first, not to try and work out what the hell's going on, but to see if there is any booze left over that I can drink to help me tackle this latest crisis. Whatever has happened, it's going to be fine. Now, take a deep breath and tell me what's going on. "A princess!" Olivia repeats, spluttering and collapsing into a chair by the ornate dressing table. I turn and look at the others in the room, hoping one of the many bridesmaids might offer up the information.
"Her zip's stuck,"
says her mother. I eye up the champagne flute in her hand, wondering where it came from and if there's another one, before I remember that it's my job to fix this situation. How stuck could it be? "Let me," I say, as if it's going to be like the sword in the stone and I'll magically be able to make it work. The dress, which cost more than the entire budget of some of the previous weddings I've organized, is hanging on the back of the wardrobe door. It's so beautiful, with its ivory, Dupion silk and antique lace, that I almost can't bring myself to touch it.
"I'll give you a hand,"
says Patrick. He's got a look on his face that says this is serious business. After all, he's got to get the money shot of her in her dress looking over the castle walls before she says, "I do." I try the zip.